What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with TechDaily. So it's been 60 days, about 2 whole months, since I got my iPhone 16 Pro, and I figured that's more than enough time to decide whether or not it was worth upgrading to. If you just want to hear the answer and aren't interested in anything else, no. The iPhone 16 Pro was definitely not worth the upgrade from my 15 Pro. If you want to hear me rant about why for the next 15 minutes or so, well, grab some popcorn and get comfortable. The thing about the iPhone 16 Pro, in my opinion, is that the couple of things that were upgraded, and let me stress that, couple of things, namely the battery life, the camera, insofar as the stuff you use every day on the go, not the super over-the-top pro features, and I guess the performance, kind of. Well, that stuff doesn't outweigh the other stuff that changed that wound up being an annoyance, a headache, or a so-called new thing that's not really adding anything to the overall user experience. Camera control, for example, has served me no purpose beyond accidentally triggering the camera app when I pick up my phone. The most important thing, the screen, is the largest iPhone display ever, I guess, but I challenge you to find that extra usable screen area compared to my old phone. Spoiler alert, there isn't any. And Apple Intelligence has been a botched and confusing staggered release over the last 2 months that is supposed to be the reason this phone exists. I mean, the signs on the Apple Store say so, at least, but the feature that is the catchphrase for this phone not only didn't launch with this phone, but it continues to fall below even the most basic standards of AI. On the bright side, my friends at Anker sent over their latest charging accessories for me to use, and whether you have the new iPhone or were smart and just kept your old one, I think these are the perfect pairing. The Anker MagGo wireless charger stand is a must-have for your desk setup, bedside table, or anywhere else you want a hands-free view of your iPhone. It's a fully compatible MagSafe accessory that can juice up your iPhone even faster than the latest 25-watt MagSafe charger and doubly faster than a normal 7.5-watt wireless charger. Anker's words. You can set your iPhone upright to scroll through social media, turn it to landscape to watch videos or take advantage of standby mode, tilt it up or down to get the right angle, and the 360-degree rotation has this fancy mechanism that kind of feels like you're turning a watch bezel or the knob of a safe. And you can even twist the stand upright up to 90 degrees to get a better view of your phone or charge your AirPods. The Anker MagGo wireless charging station is a 3-in-1 foldable, compact, and ultra-portable charging pad for your 3 Apple essentials: your iPhone, your AirPods, and your Apple Watch. Folded up, it kind of looks like a UFO, and it's barely bigger than the AirPods Pro 2 case, but it still packs plenty of power. You can charge all 3 devices at once, which keeps your desk clutter-free. It's MagSafe compatible, and it too can charge your iPhone doubly fast at 15 watts thanks to the latest Qi 2 charging standard. There's 4 color options to match whatever you might have, and if you fold it backwards, it's a stand for your iPhone as well. Check out Anker's latest MagGo charging accessories at the link in the video description below, and thanks so much to Anker for sponsoring this video. Okay, so first things first. The new iPhone 16 Pro and the 16 Pro Max actually are bigger than last year, but they're only bigger in that inconvenient way where case companies get to make a ton more money selling you new products for the slightly different phone dimensions versus just plopping on your old phone case. And we don't actually get any extra screen space that's beneficial from that. I mean, can you even tell that these phones are different sizes? It's millimeters of a difference in any direction. And there were so many different posts online that really were nothing more than engagement bait, also touting how slim the bezels were now and how the new iPhone 16 Pro is like 99% screen. While Apple's tagline of this new iPhone being the biggest ever is provably true with only the most precise measuring tools, I can tell you for certain that the fraction of an inch in overall screen size yields you absolutely nothing that you'll notice or take advantage of when you actually look at the screen. The only thing you'll experience with the increase in size is a decrease in your bank account balance when you have to buy a new case and maybe some other new accessories, since this new Pro iPhone is annoyingly different in dimensions versus all the Pro iPhones that came before it. The other physical change that wound up being more annoying than helpful, for me at least, is the don't call it a button, camera control button. Now, there is arguably no real reason for this to exist, other than for Apple to say, hey look, something new, and for them to pair it with the camera itself, which has been Apple's main feature focus for the last 4 or 5 years. But as an app launching shortcut button, this does the same thing as the camera shortcut icon from the lock screen, which I realize you can now customize to something else, and you can customize camera control too to launch a couple other things, though they're all still camera related. But I feel like we're just getting more things that do the same task. When you're inside the camera app, camera control does function like a multi-feature shutter button from a point and shoot. But let me offer a counterpoint to this whole thing. If we're going back to adding buttons to smartphones, what's the point of the touchscreen? Arguably, zooming in by pinching like we always have, or just tapping the 2x or 5x icons, or scrolling with your thumb on screen, that's all easier than sliding and swiping and squeezing the camera control button just right to make it happy. And the other advanced camera settings, everything from photographic styles to tone and depth and exposure. I mean, how often is a person really messing with that stuff that the phone needed a dedicated physical hardware button to use it with? Now, I know this Pro iPhone is geared towards pro users, especially pro camera users, but I'm really having a hard time seeing the use cases for this. Maybe I'm just not the right user, but I'll also say that I've accidentally launched the camera app infinitely more times by picking up or holding my phone a certain way than I ever have actually wanting to launch the camera app using camera control. And yes, I've adjusted the button settings. So not only am I not even utilizing camera control for its intended purposes, it's unintentionally causing an inconvenient moment for me multiple times a day. At this point, I think camera control might be one of the most unnecessary add-ons for an iPhone in recent years, and I'm bummed to be saying that, but it's just what I've personally experienced. Now, I don't want to be completely negative here, so let's switch to a positive for a moment. Battery life on my iPhone 16 Pro has been way better than my 15 Pro. I can easily get through a full day of brain rot and still have some life left in this thing, and I could very rarely do that with my 15 Pro. Granted, my 15 Pro's battery health absolutely plummeted the last few months before the new iPhone came out, but still, the 16 Pro, whether it's a better actual battery or better optimization with iOS 18 or the new chip inside or whatever it is, this phone has great battery life, at least for now. And the charging speeds, while there was that rumor about 45-watt wired charging that wound up not being true, this does have faster wireless charging over Apple's MagSafe accessories, so that's better than nothing. I've just made sure over the last couple of years that I always have the best certified chargers that actually get the best speed possible, since Apple does you no favors anymore, including their charging accessories that could yield you those good advertised charging speeds. It's unfortunate that most people actually aren't utilizing those speeds with whatever random plugs and cables they already have at home. So I want to just mention one other thing about the screen. Apple didn't upgrade the iPhone 16 Pro's display in the ways they normally would. It's not any better, brighter, sharper, faster. The only thing they did was improve the dimness, namely the lowest brightness level. It can be set to just 1 nit, which is really only useful if you're in total darkness, so you don't blind yourself with a bright screen. So yay, I guess. But if you were hoping for anything that positively improved your day-to-day viewing experience, well, you don't get that with the 16 Pro. As far as specs and performance, I really think this is a two-part tale. Day-to-day usage on this new iPhone 16 Pro is truly not any different than the 15 Pro. The days of crazy speed differences in launching and loading apps or even playing games, I think, are far behind us. And since Apple legally can't throttle these older iPhones anymore with iOS updates, I can't imagine this new phone will feel that much improved over even something from 2 or 3 years ago. Even if you are the most power-hungry power user or a competitive mobile gamer, there's simply no tangible, viewable, or otherwise discernible advantage whatsoever in opting for this new iPhone. I don't even think Apple themselves is big on doing speed or power comparisons anymore, because even if they said that this phone was twice as fast or twice as powerful as last year, there would literally be no way to see that with the naked eye for the average consumer. However, one of the reasons why Apple is still making strides in their processor hardware and performance potential is so that the iPhone can do more complicated things. And that's sort of my segue into discussing Apple Intelligence. Apple says the new iPhone 16s were made for Apple Intelligence. But that's obviously not true because the Pro iPhones from last year got Apple Intelligence, and let's be honest, some of the other previous year devices probably could support Apple Intelligence too, but Apple needs to keep giving you reasons to upgrade, right? The thing is, Apple Intelligence didn't ship with the new iPhones this year, so that in and of itself wasn't even an immediate reason to upgrade in the first place. And since launching, Apple Intelligence features have come in the form of staggered monthly software updates that I've personally found have not really improved the overall user experience for this phone. Like, is it fun to make myself into a memoji or AI image once? Sure. Have I ever made my own custom keyboard emojis? No. Are the AI-generated images in the image playground even useful? I haven't made one that is. And the stuff that's supposed to be more integrated into your workflow, like writing tools and formatting and summarizing and all that, well, I wouldn't exactly call that AI. I would equate it to Joey Tribbiani from Friends discovering the thesaurus tool on his computer. Apple's ads showing some dumb office worker slacking off and just rephrasing their badly written emails casts the average iPhone user as a clown, not a business professional utilizing AI to improve their workflow or enhance their life. And in fact, mail summaries, for example, where you're supposed to get a summary of an email in your inbox, doesn't even really work for me. I would just get a summary of a random email within the thread, or the first email in an email chain. It didn't give me anything I could use in the moment. And the notification summaries as a whole from all the apps have been more of a meme than anything else. And poor, forgotten Siri has basically become a prompt to pull up ChatGPT, but only until you hit your daily limit of asks, unless you want to pay monthly for ChatGPT. Look, maybe I'm not the intended user for Apple Intelligence either, just like with camera control, but Apple Intelligence is being incorporated into a lot of devices now, not just the iPhones. And I feel like Apple just still has a long way to go. Right now, it feels like a combination of gimmicks, low-level tasks, and unfinished software updates that are uncharacteristic of a company like Apple. Finally, when it comes to the cameras on the new iPhone 16 Pro, Apple has always been keen on showcasing new features, new capabilities, and not everything is outright useful for most everyday users. But if there were something that was decisively pro on the Pro iPhone, it has always been the cameras. And this year, yet again, there are plenty of improvements with the 16 Pro, both in the actual camera hardware and the images and videos and audio you capture with it all. But most people have a very straightforward question when they ask about the new iPhone, and that's simply, is the camera better? And to them, what I usually say now is simply that it's different, and it depends on how you use it. If you take a regular daylight picture of your dog or your plate of food, is it going to look significantly better on the new iPhone versus the old one? No, absolutely not. You can shoot within one of the new photographic styles if you want, but that's not making anything better. Like I said, it's just different. But if you're shooting like a super dark portrait picture, or you find yourself in a setting where there's a wide range of light, or you wind up shooting raw images and you edit them in a professional image editing software, then yeah, you specifically, and you know if I'm talking to you, are going to appreciate the new iPhone 16 Pro. For everyone else in the world, I think most, if not all, of the Pro camera features on the Pro iPhones, they just go unused, unfortunately, and I definitely fall within that category of people most days. I think if you wanted a reason to get the iPhone 16 Pro, the camera improvements are probably it, simply because this is where Apple has poured all their time and attention for the last 3 or 4 years, but I don't know if it makes sense for everyone, all the average everyday consumers. And definitely don't give Apple the gratification of using camera control with this, because we need to kill that before it goes any further. Maybe I'm getting grumpy in my old age. Maybe I'm now just a boomer who doesn't take full advantage of what the Pro iPhones truly have to offer, but I can't be the only one who feels that the iPhone 16 Pro really doesn't have enough to justify upgrading, right? Maybe the main point I'm missing is that people don't really upgrade their phones year after year anymore. There hasn't been much that's new for quite a while. So I suppose if you have something older, or a different smartphone entirely, like an older Samsung, for example, then yeah, the 16 Pro is going to feel wildly new, probably. But to me, and to most everyone else who had a 15 Pro, I can't imagine we'll be ditching them anytime soon. And perhaps that rumor of iPhones not being released yearly anymore is actually something that we need. But what do you guys think about the new iPhone 16 Pro? Did you upgrade? Do I just not know how to make the most of this new phone? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, of course. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video though. Be sure to follow TechDaily on Twitter and subscribe to the TechDaily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.